And away we go!
Proud to announce that today's episode, as well as every episode this month during NPE Awareness Month, is brought to you in partnership between The Bradley Hall Show and the NPE Friends Fellowship. You can find out more information at npefellowship.org. June has been deemed NPE Awareness Month, which is cool. This is a really cool way to get started because I approached Catherine with the idea for NPE Awareness Month, and she told me that she had started the group in June, and so that June worked perfectly to make the whole month NPE Awareness Month.
Absolutely.
And you were there for the beginning.
Yes, I was.
Yeah. So in the beginning, there were two, right?
There was, yes. So I had found Catherine under a Delilah page where she had commented about her taking the test and finding out that her father wasn't her father. And I was on my own in the beginning, just myself, before, when you looked up and you found out that you took this test and your father wasn't your father, and there was nothing. You could Google away. There was really little information out there. There was no group. There was nothing. And I was just on Facebook, and it was a Facebook post that Delilah, the radio host, had posted. And I'm scrolling through all these posts that people had written about saying, it's not real. Don't believe in this fake science. And there's Catherine, and she writes, "Be careful what you do with this because I just found out my father wasn't my father," and I couldn't believe it. So yes, I find her, and we chat, and it turns into there couldn't just be us on the planet. It can't just be the two of us. It's not possible, and there has to be more. And there we are. The page got started, and
Amazing.
It was because it was really it was the moment of feeling like there couldn't be anybody else. I remember feeling so alone, and finding Catherine was just life changing. And then comes the whole page and this bittersweet feeling like, look how many of us there actually are.
Yeah. Actually, and actually, I think at last count, I've got it right here: 7,258 members.
Right.
And you were number two. That is just amazing.
Yeah.
It's fascinating.
Yeah. I hold your heart. Like, oh.
Yeah. It's did you think when you and Catherine talked and she created the group, and did you think there would be over 7,000 members?
No, we absolutely said to each other, we both said, if we find 12 people, that would be amazing. If there's 12 of us out there, that would be incredible. And 12 is a number we really were like hitting for. We just kept saying 12.
Yeah.
It's like, wow, that's incredible. No.
Yeah. I think I was like 311 or something. Yeah.
And that was early on. That was early in the show.
Yeah, that was very early. It was probably almost a year because I think I joined, I either joined in May or June. And obviously started in June the previous year.
It was hard to find people in the beginning because we had a very time promoting ourselves and figuring out how we could get people to trust us. That was a big issue, how we tell people that we are trustworthy people and we are true in what we say. And so, but now it's a whole ball game.
Yeah, absolutely. And it's remarkable that in the first year there were 300. You gained 300 people, and now how many years ago was it?
It'll be 3 years ago.
3. Okay, yeah, that'd be right because I've been a member 2 years. Now we're up to over 7,200, and it's mind-boggling.
And then what does the next 3 years look like, and what do the couple of years after that look like? And it starts to, it's almost scary to make you wonder.
Yeah.
For people to come.
And so it's neat that you were second. You were right. You were 1 and 2 with Catherine right there in the creation. But I can tell you from my standpoint, when I found out and I came in, there were 300 people in there. The immediate comfort I felt knowing that there were 300 people just like me. So I would imagine that when you found Catherine, that was exciting. But I still think I have to think that because it gave you some normalcy, right? You found someone else, and then there was someone else came in to the group. But when I came in and there were 300 people, I was like, wow,
you could take a breath, right? You could breathe, right? Yeah. And that was the goal. That's the goal for this as well, that there's somebody out there and they could hear a story and they too could feel some normalcy. That's the whole purpose behind all of this. Exactly.
Yeah.
Yes. No, there wasn't that in the beginning. That there was, I felt like I was not on an island. I felt like I was completely alone, and there was not a single person who could understand
Yeah.
or is that could ever be in my situation, and it was
Yeah.
frightening.
So how long did that go on before you met Catherine? How long did
Um,
you know before you met her?
thank God it really wasn't as long as it could have been because I couldn't imagine. I got my results on June 3rd, which is my son's birthday, and I met Catherine probably about it was about I think about 10, 12 days later that we together. Thank goodness it wasn't longer than that. And then the group was started about 10, 12 days after that, if I'm correct. I'm
Okay.
bad on the days. I could be off. Catherine, I guarantee knows better than I do.
Yeah.
But it was only days there that was a difference. Um,
Okay.
but the first week or two for me was a traumatic time. Absolutely traumatic. I definitely did not handle any of this well. And even after that time, the first couple of months, I probably the first 6 months or longer, I definitely suffered some pretty massive trauma for this, and the group was very helpful for me, and it really did help me start seeing that there were other people there, and there were people going through trauma. But I definitely think everybody handles that trauma differently,
Oh,
and
absolutely. Without a doubt.
yeah,
Without a doubt.
and and kind of understanding that more now, after hearing, going on the cruise and speaking to some of, hearing people talk a little bit more about their past and their childhood and things like that. And, hearing other NPE stories, that has been very helpful to me and hearing different levels of how everyone handles it. Cause it made me feel like, "Oh, all right, well, maybe I wasn't, for a while, I was like, maybe I'm the only one who really had a massive setback
Yeah.
because I definitely did.
Well, and I just want to throw in here that it's not just a support group on Facebook that as you mentioned you and
Right.
I met on a cruise. I mean
Yeah.
a group of us went together and actually spent time together and had an amazing time. That's where we met each other.
Yeah. Yes. Which was it was for me, it was really life changing because that was the first time that I really had any sort of specific therapy based around the MPE situation. Um, and it really did change my thought process on it. So
Good.
I
Good.
needed that. Yeah,
Yeah.
clearly.